Martin Luther King's known for everything he did protesting in the South, I think, but not a lot of people know that finally he made a turn and decided to go into the ghettos of the North because he knew there was poverty and blacks were not being treated well in the North. So he actually moved his family, who I'm sure lived in a comfortable home, into the ghettos of Chicago and began peaceful protests there and was not treated very well as either. We'll talk about that when we get into civil rights during the Johnson administration. But it was pretty interesting in general, so just keep that in mind. What we're going to do now is we're going to finish up today before you have to go real quickly with event number 7. It's not very long, but we'll finish event number 7 of the 7 things concerning civil rights that happened during the Kennedy administration. How many of them have been positive so far? One, I think, the March on Washington. This one is the worst one, okay? And it was event number 7, the Birmingham church bombing. Birmingham church bombing. And this occurred on September 15th of 1963 and was considered one of the worst crimes of the civil rights era to date. Okay, on September 15th, 1963, one of the worst crimes of the civil rights era to date. And this happened at the 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham, Alabama. The 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham, Alabama. What happened is a bomb exploded inside that church, and 4 young girls that were attending Sunday school that day were killed. So at the 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham, Alabama, 4 young girls attending Sunday school were killed when a bomb exploded inside the church. All of them were under the age of 14. All of them. They included on your ID sheets Denise McNair, Cynthia Wesley, Carol Robertson, and Addie Mae Collins. So the young girls that were killed as a result of the bombing of the Birmingham church, all under the age of 14, included Denise McNair, Cynthia Wesley, Carol Robertson, and Addie Mae Collins. 20 others were injured. Other than McNair, Wesley, Robertson, and Collins being killed, 20 other people were injured, including 12-year-old Sarah Jean Collins, who was blinded in one eye for life. So 20 others were injured, including 12-year-old Sarah Jean Collins, who was blinded in one eye for life, which tells you that Sarah Jean Collins was Addie Mae Collins' sister. Yeah. Imagine the tragedy for that family. And the sad thing about it is less than a month after Dr. King's inspirational I Have a Dream speech, this event showed American people just how far we were away from that dream. It really did. It was a terrible time in history. Well, 4 white supremacists were under investigation within days of the bombing. But after 2 years without conviction, FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover declined to continue the case. So 4 white supremacists were under investigation within days of that bombing. But after 2 years without getting a conviction, FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover simply shelved the case. Well, guess what happened in the mid-1970s, kiddo? Prosecutors reopened the case because they found new evidence. So in the mid-1970s, prosecutors reopened the case with new evidence. And finally, in 1977, nearly 14 years after the crime, a man was convicted. So new evidence was found in the mid-1970s, prosecutors reopened the case, and finally in 1977, nearly 14 years after the crime, prosecutors convicted a man for the crime. His name was Robert Chambliss, and he was kind of the ringleader of the bombing. Robert Chambliss was convicted. He was kind of the ringleader of the bombing. And they convicted him of 1 count of murder in the death of Denise McNair. Yeah, only 1. But he was sentenced to prison for life and died there in 1985. So Robert Chambliss, who was the ringleader of the bombing, was convicted of 1 count of murder in the death of Denise McNair. He was sentenced to prison. He dies there in 1985. 2 of the 3 remaining suspects were convicted in 2000. And they were also given life sentences in prison. And you know why they didn't get the 4th guy in 2000? Because he had already died. So they really they did the best they could in convicting these individuals. So again, Chambliss was sentenced to prison and died there in 1985. 2 of the other 3 remaining suspects were convicted in the year 2000, both given life sentences. And the 4th man avoided prosecution because he died before they got the evidence that would have convicted him. I'll tell you a couple of things. Denise McNair, you ever heard of Condoleezza Rice, Secretary of State under Bill Clinton? Very prominent black woman. She was classmates with Denise McNair. Was one of her classmates. Yeah. And another thing, when we get into the museum things, and I'm going to force you to go to, not force you, but everybody will go to the Holocaust Museum, and I'll let you disperse from there. But they have a stained glass window from this church in Birmingham in the Civil Rights International African American Museum. It's really, really cool. They also have Rosa Parks' dress that she was arrested in on the bus. So they have some really, really cool things there. Okay? Anyway, that'll end up the lecture. Here's kind of what we're going to do, kiddos. We're going to watch Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech tomorrow in its entirety. And then I'm going to review for the test. And then Friday is going to be a weird day because it's a very short period. We'll figure something to do. And then Monday, when we get back, I'm going to show you videos of things that I really haven't taken the time to show you throughout the first semester that I would have liked to, but I wanted to wait till the end of the semester to see if we got where we needed to get. And we'll use kind of Monday and that extra 30-minute day as some videos to catch up I wanted to show you. Okay? That's kind of where we're at. So I think we're in good shape. When we get back, we'll start the Kennedy assassination. Now, listen up. On